This building is an iconic building. It's an iconic location. The majority of people would know of RCSI's association with St. Stephen's Green, which goes back 2 centuries.
If you look around in this beautiful building, everything you see here, we're involved with.
It's always pleasing when you come across the clients that there's no complaints and they're happy.
Build that relationship that will lead on to future projects. It's not just a one project job.
Install, maintain, perform. It's a life cycle approach. 118 St. Stephen's Green represents a significant investment from RCSI in its students and in Ireland's health research landscape. The 8-storey building provides state-of-the-art teaching and small group learning spaces, modern research laboratories, and welcome student and public areas. It serves as a new front door for RCSI, creating an open civic space and strengthening connections across the city centre campus. For Tritech to be involved in this project was something we were really keen about. We could see what it represented, RCSI's vision of what they wanted, also to work with a really strong team on the design side, the architectural side with Henry J. Lyons and Access Engineering, and also with Bennett Construction Limited. So there was a really good team coming together on this, and we wanted to be a part of that. This building was designed with WELL and LEED. We worked hand in hand with IES and with Access Engineering to make sure that those principles were carried forward all the way through the pre-construction and installation and commissioning.
How we plan is we go early doors coordination as a M&E contractor, and we were M&E on this project, which is great, so we can talk freely with each other, and we rely heavily on our BIM department as well and our engineering departments, working with them closely in-house, ensuring that we're not clashing anywhere, reviewing it and keep reviewing it as well, and making sure our risers work well for us throughout the building, make sure our equipment fits well within the risers.
It's a typical example of where we had to really sit down and get everyone involved to make sure we align with the architect's reflective ceiling plan, make sure we weren't clashing as an M&E contractor, and make sure we're setting out what's correct, and make sure all our alignments are correct. When you walk in, you get the effect that was desired. It was just the detail that had to go into the setting out of the lights, the grills, the containment, everything. So it was trying to meet the expectations of the architect and the finish and keeping everything in line. So it was a lot of setting out and organising, a lot of detail involved in trying to capture what we've done here.
The quality was driven by a very intense pre-construction phase, working in collaboration and partnership with Bennett's and with Access Engineering on how we intended to build the building, and then following through on that. Because the project was quite a tight programme, it meant that we had over 200 people on site working for Tritech, and that required a huge amount of planning, careful planning with our management teams, with our EHS teams, just to make sure everyone on site was kept safe, make sure the site was kept clean, and that it was a safe place to work. And that was driven from the top down, from our directors, our management, our site management team, to ensure that the correct health and safety culture was on site.
You have to try and tread a fine line when you're coming to a job, because obviously you have a client that has an expectation, you have a building manager then that has an expectation. One of my main objectives will be to make sure that I mitigate any risks to programme, to cost, but again, without compromising on quality.
It's a very tight footprint, and that had its own challenges in the construction. Obviously, storage was quite tight, so we were based a lot on just-in-time deliveries and just careful collaboration with the construction team.
Early engagement was critical for the project. Even though the job is not like a huge footprint, it's heavily serviced. So there's an awful lot of areas that are congested with services, especially in the basement. So the main challenge here wouldn't be getting the plant in, which you would probably think it would be. The main challenge here was actually getting the services in. And from the start, the coordination was critical, because you can see, if you're looking at all the services, when you look up, it's hard to see the ceiling because there's so many services in place. Getting involved early, getting submittals approved, getting equipment types, all of that was critical. It's easy to draw something on a page or in a model. It's another stage to actually know that it can be fitted in place and it can be maintained and serviced and so on and so forth. So the attention to detail from our own BIM department was critical. It's having the know-how and the knowledge to know that if that goes there, it can be maintained. If that goes in front of it, it can't be maintained. suppose the biggest challenge up here is even though the building has a big footprint, the space and plant area on the roof was quite condensed for the amount of plant that's up here. So again, coordination was kind of key for locating all the plant with maintaining access routes and walkways around all the equipment.
So the shutdown works was a huge milestone for the project. Obviously, if it didn't happen, we'd no power to this building. So
You have to imagine this being a building site, a fully functional building site where we have site cabins set up around here, main contractor cabins, our own cabins. So we had to set up an off-site crane out in Cuffy Lane and get the generators, three generators craned into this spot here where we're standing. And we had electrical changeover switches here which control the generators. And from there we had cabling to leave here. And we had to contain them right up the top of the roof of 26 York Street into the main switch room upstairs, into the switch room where we were going to be repowering up the building. So this is the building that we had to keep live during the process. And you can see that when you look through the window, it's a bustling building where students and people were doing exams at the time. We were doing the shutdown. So
early door planning was really, really critical with all the stakeholders, with everyone involved, including the RCSI team, our own team, ESB, all our own supply chain. I look forward to this one because we had a good plan in place and we had a good what if plan. What if this happens? Trying to get all eventualities, what could go wrong. And it's not that to be a negative, but things do go wrong and things can go wrong and you have to have a plan for it.
One of the things that really interested us about Project Connect was the opportunity to become a partner with RCSI over not just only the install and commissioning of the building, and also the maintenance of the building. The way we see this is a continuous loop. It's install, maintain, perform. Install, maintain, perform.
I think the main things when it comes to that move into a live building would be a full handover, I think is essential. Full commissioning reports. When you have the same contractor doing the installation and passing it on to maintenance, it preserves accurate information, which then mitigates risk. Accuracy of commissioning reports, accuracy of O&M manuals, and accuracy of as-built drawings.
Our maintenance team work with estate managers daily, and we understand their problems, their headaches, and we're there as a solution. We work side by side with them in buildings that have people moving through them at all hours of the day, getting their maintenance done as unobtrusively as possible. There's no service outage, anything like that. When our maintenance plan is finished, they have the backup paperwork and documentation that they require.
It's nice to walk in and see the building operating and seeing how it functions and how it was designed to function. It's always pleasing when you come across the clients that there's no complaints and they're happy.
Yeah, so when Tritech carry out the install, it's done with the next 10 years in mind for preventative maintenance.